So emails went out this week for those who were invited to come and interview with YC. RFxchange was not one of those companies. But to be honest, I'm not surprised. It's very rare for solo founders to be considered, and I knew that. So I'm not disheartened. Actually, if anything else, I'm super motivated. I spoke with an individual over the weekend who is going to help me do some cursory looks at the platform and what it needs as far as the build out. I have a call with an individual on Monday, give him the whole story, background, and what I'm looking to do, and fingers crossed, I'll have a co-founder next week, at least just early conversations, but still, that's the idea, and I want to set myself up for success for the next YC submission. So you're going to hear it first. I am setting a goal to have at least 1,000 users on the platform by the time YC would be starting, so in June. And I want to have at least 10, I can make it a stretch goal, so we'll say 15 RFPs up on the platform as well. From there, I think that's just a really good start, and or at least it's a good goal to strive for. We'll see how that looks in June. Other things that are going on, I am thinking about hosting a few dinners with some previous coworkers, and maybe even a few clients or just individuals I know in the industry. I need a few things solved. One is my pitch. It needs to be succinct, it needs to be clear, and I want to kind of bounce that idea off of people in the industry. My friends and family have been too sweet and too kind to me, so it needs the next level. Then other area I need help with is building out the copy for the website. Again, I know what I'm trying to do, but does somebody who stumbles upon the website understand what the company does and what are the benefits? So I'm thinking about hosting actually 3 different dinners with friends, previous coworkers, and industry connections. One being on the pitch, one actually, and that's a pitch for investors or just co-founders or other potential employees down the road. This second dinner, I want to invite all of my sales folks, people who worked under me when I was a manager, people who worked next to me as a salesperson, and I want to talk about the unique selling points and how you'd position that for both sides of the exchange when you're talking to RFP or RFX issuers versus RFX responders. And then the third is for that website copy. I have tons of friends in the industry who are writers, copywriters themselves, or just really good wordsmiths, and I'm going to have them over to just help me clean up the website, any marketing materials that we eventually would make, maybe even clean up the tagline, and go from there. So those are 3 dinners I'm looking to host. And then the other big update, which is super cool, I started doing some heavy competitor analysis. I reached out to all of the companies that do offer some type of RFP, RFI, security questionnaire solution. And I've seen about 4 demos now. I have one actually in a few minutes, and then I have another one next week. If I didn't have more confidence of what I want to do before, I mean, I have seen these platforms, they aren't solving the problem that I really think is there, and it is the identifying of RFX, what potential opportunities are out there, as well as just the ease of use. These platforms, although they claim to be saving you so much time, need so much work to be put into building out the responses. And a lot of that stuff can just be done if we solve, again, the problem from the beginning, which is the problem with the RFX issuer. If we could put all of that onto a platform and from end to end, the answers are collected and RFXs are submitted, it would just save so much time. So I'm super confident after the RFP platforms I've seen thus so far. I will say that there's one idea floating in my head. Instead of owning the whole end-to-end process, maybe possibly doing a whole bunch of integrations with some of the solutions that are out there. Ones that I really liked, I think would actually be beneficial to that process, but I'm not 100% in love with that idea. I'm going to actually run it by the individual who's looking at the back end of the platform right now and see this could be a band-aid until we get to the bigger idea or not. And yeah, so I have been doing a lot of research, and it's just giving me a lot more confidence. So I will keep chugging along. I also started to send out a survey to the brands that I've worked with in the past to see what their biggest issues are. Again, I have always been on the RFX responder side. I have not been on the RFX issuer side. That's heavily brands and agencies, and that's where I have the most connections. So I want to hear from their side, what are the struggles that they deal with when sending out an RFX, collecting that information, sorting through the data, and what features would they be interested in if they're already using solutions in a new product. So lots of really fun, exciting things are happening. And yeah, didn't get into YC this time, but put myself into a good position to be there in the summer. So yeah, again, like always, please leave comments, questions, concerns, advice, motivation. I'll take it all.